terror people in Texas are living with right now is the same terror that people in Speedway survived 40 years ago. 8 bombs went off over the course of 6 days.
Today, our Rich Van Wyk found some of the people who lived through it and still to this day say they're haunted by that experience.
Anne-Marie, there are a lot of similarities between what happened here 40 years ago and what's going on in Texas. People here are watching the news reports. Those reports are reopening wounds that over the decades haven't completely healed.
I know the fear that is going through those people's hearts.
40 years ago, 8 bombings in just 6 days cut through the hearts and lives of Speedway residents.
Speedway was just like Texas. I said we were all on edge.
Ron Fisher and Jerry Crow were young fathers in 1978.
Before my kids got up and went to school, I would check under the cars.
Looking for bombs.
You didn't touch anything in a bag or anything. Anything was foreign, you just stayed away from.
Like in Texas, bombs in Speedway were placed in public areas, random places, for no apparent reason. Uncertainty multiplied people's fears.
Where's he putting it? Why is he doing it? Who's he picking on? And you didn't know who and what and when.
The final bomb went off in the Speedway High School parking lot just after a football game. Jerry was 150 feet away.
Out of the corner of my eye, I saw a body fly up in the air, and it was Dave.
Carl David DeLong was horribly injured. Jerry saved his friend's life.
Pandemonium. Pandemonium. Yeah.
It hurts 40 years later.
Yeah, it really does.
3 years later, Brett Kimberlin, a businessman convicted of drug and other crimes, was convicted of the bombings. He was released from prison in 2001. Residents old enough to remember still live with the fear Kimberlin brought to Speedway.
I'll be real frank with you, I don't pick up empty bags like I did.
All these years later?
Yeah, you think, hey, there could be a bomb in it.
Unfortunately, Carl David DeLong never recovered from his injuries. According to family members, he was in constant pain at the time he sadly took his life a few years later. At that time, his daughter told me that the family blamed his death on Brett Kimberlin, the Speedway bomber. Anne-Marie?